Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox stream. I'm Alex Flores, aka Kamisasi, joined here today by Coco. Coco is the guy in charge of all of our Game Jam stuff. Coco, how are you doing this morning?
Well, fine. Thanks for the intro. Hello, everyone. Nice to be here again, just shortly after the Future Tech Game Jam. Going directly back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Thanks.
So we're doing the retro game jam now. The last game jam was the future game jam, right? And this one this one is a little bit different, but we'll talk about what's different about it in a minute here. So we've got this slideshow going on. Just want to give a quick shout out to our viewers. Welcome, Go West, Tom the Purple, last year trier, first time chatter, Minisick, and welcome Giona and everybody else over on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We've got lots to share about this game jam. So, Coco, how about we kick off with what's going on here?
Yes, let's go. Before we talk about the retro games, I just wanted to, because I see some of you there who submitted for the Future Tech, so congrats actually for everyone who submitted yesterday. The deadline was yesterday, so yeah, we just right into it. But congrats for those who submitted.
We got a
I
bunch of
started to
games to play
review a
now.
little bit, and a lot of games are looks really cool. So congrats participating, and really excited to start playing the games. It really looks amazing. Um, so as you say, Alex, last was Future Game Jam. Now we're going to retro, so kind of the opposite, but still this time common theme.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, let's dig into the details maybe.
All right.
Right, so as usual, you can see the dates to do the kickoff tomorrow, the live workshop. As usual, I'll say, I say this all the time, but I'll say it again. It's the best way to start a game jam to assist the workshop with Cyber Dragon. Talked to him today, and he's preparing some cool stuff to show. Uh, if you guys know about his tools, he started tools to help you to make the rules and to copy paste the rules directly into Game Maker. It's really cool. He's gonna show a bit about that tomorrow. And the names, I think it's Board Pro or something, but it's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's Board Pro.
Um, yeah, it's really cool. So hopefully you can join, and it's really well done, and you can learn about that. You just got a week to register, but you don't have to wait. You can register starting now, and if you haven't already, and you still have a week to do so. And then, as usual, got 3 weeks to create the game. We stop right before Christmas, so yeah.
So with
And
the
then live reward, yeah, sorry.
registration, just to point out, like if you register, it's not like you have to submit a game, right? Like you're not going to get in trouble if you register and don't end up finishing. Something happens. This is just so we know how many people could be participating and we can plan for how much work is involved.
Yeah, so registration allows you to receive we send emails with a lot of help, a lot of info, also the submission, of course, a form that you will need to submit your game. So you don't have, of course, to submit a game if you register. It doesn't get you to nothing. Um, Still, I encourage to submit, even if you're not 100% happy with what you've done. It usually is not the case. Game jam in 3 weeks is pretty short to make like the base game ever, or and a lot of you guys I know are kind of perfectionists, want to do things right, and of course it's okay. But even if you're not 100% happy with what you've done, submit. You'll get some feedback to help you progress and do better for the next one. So don't hesitate,
Absolutely.
even if yeah, you think it could have been a few, you can use a few more weeks. Submitting is a good way to move forward.
Perfect.
So here we are with the dates. Now going to the interesting stuff, knowing the rewards. So you kind of, I'd say, stand out here. I mean, for I guess most of you already know that that's the pool rewards. So as the last game jam, you'll see there's two way of obtaining rewards. That's the first one. That's the reward pool. So based on your ranking, you get a part of the pool and some catalyst pack too. But I think the most interesting part is the second part of the reward, which can go to the next slide.
Mhm.
Is as for the future game jam, you can get into the season. So if you missed actually the future tech game jam, and if you want to be part of the season, you get another chance. Here it is. As for the Future Tech Game Jam, we have 10 slots to fill, and each slot gets you a contract to get 10,000 sand and one by one land. And as for the Future Tech, the rewards are cumulative. So if you ranked good in the ranking and in the reward pool, you can accumulate with the season reward. So I think that's I think the most exciting part. It's been something we've been pushing to have more game jam games into the season. that's reality now. We have as you've seen, we had 10 slots for the future tech. Now we have 10 slots for retro, so we have up to 20 games from Game Jam that will be in the season. That's huge. Uh, I'm really happy about that because usually games from Game Jam are really fun.
Mhm.
Uh, and maybe in the past we hadn't had the exposure they deserved. They hadn't had the exposure they deserved, so it's pretty good, great. Something I also have forgot to mention on the last slide, but we've reinstalled participation prize. Some of you mentioned that on Discord. We discussed that participation prize was gone last for the Future Tech Game Jam. Reinstalled it. It will be in the form of Catalyst pack. So I was saying earlier that submitting the game jam at the end was cool because you can have feedback and so on. But also, if you submit and of course there are some criteria like it's a legit submission, then you can have also some catalyst used to meet some assets and to sell them on the marketplace.
Very
Pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Now you all be asking what we mean with the theme, which is retro. Here's some explanation. So as the future tech game jam, it's free gameplay and single player. Why that is that? Because we wanted, and I think it's a feedback you made a lot of time, that to have like more broad theme that allows you more freedom in terms of creativity, and it worked pretty well in the future tech game jams. We want to make that again possible to be really open in terms of gameplay. Of course, you can use any templates if you wish. It's still available. Any kind of gameplay you want. A single player because we still have some issue with multiplayer, so we want to keep that simple for you and for us with this. Now, what we expect with retro. As for Visual, it's pretty broad. We just want to have the retro vibe in your game. It can mean a lot of stuff. The first thing is that you can totally just build a retro game, get inspiration from old generation game, and put them back in the game maker. It was a retro game jam I think like a few years ago. I think it was like maybe 3 years ago. So it's kind of a reedition of that. But now I think with the latest tools of Game Maker, we can do things much better than we did 3 years ago. So
Hmm.
hopefully you can still see I think what was done if you dig a bit on YouTube, but to get some idea. But I think you can do much better now. Yeah, I can't wait to see. But if you want to do a retro game, you can also make any game you want and just include like retro aesthetic and also references you can do from, old game series film. Of course, don't use copyright thing. I
Yeah.
usually say that, but you can make references easily uh, on your game. So it's pretty broad,
Hmm.
but I think it can be pretty nice, and it will couple cool, I think, with the game we have from the future take game jam to have this pendant in the retro style. So having those both theme will look great, I think, in the next season. So
I'm
here we are
excited.
with the theme. All right, now as usual, some guideline. Don't make any modification before January 15th. It's a bit longer than usual, but with Christmas vacation, yeah, some time to do the voting. With this period that is pretty, I think that's going a bit slower than usual. Um, so yeah, don't do any change in the game maker, don't publish your game. As usual, the main tip for this to avoid this is to make a copy of the game before you submit. So you submit the game and then you work on the copy if you wish, and you just don't touch the one you've submitted in the form. That's really the best way to do it. Um, Also a reminder because for the future tech, we had, I think, it was still early in the game jam, but I want to say it. We had, I think, like 6 or 7 participants who submitted in the last 10 minutes of the game jam. Please don't do that. It's really risky. We also had some that were like out of the deadline, so that's you worked 3 weeks on this game, so
Yeah.
please don't wait the last minute. I think you should have all the information you need to submit at least a day or a few hours before.
Yeah. I
So
think
yeah,
if you want to play it safe, like try to submit like at least 6 hours before the deadline, because in those 6 hours you might find something went wrong or you're having technical difficulties and you're frantically trying to get a hold of Cyberdragon on Discord, like why isn't this
Yeah.
working? So leave yourself some room for the deadline.
I mean, you can still work on your game after you submitted the form, right? It's not like once you submitted the form, it's over and you cannot touch the game. You can still, fix the bug
Mm-hmm.
and do a little check. But I mean, still stop maybe 30 minutes before the deadline just in case. But at least for the form, yeah, do it a few hours before, and you can still work a bit on it. But don't wait until the last 10 minutes. When I saw that, I was like, even for you, I mean, for your mental health, that it's really stressful, I guess. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we can work on the Game Maker 1.0. It includes, I think, the swaps in game, which is pretty great. I think CyberDragon will talk about this tomorrow morning if you have any question about this new feature, but it's a pretty cool one. Um,
Can you
Hopefully,
repeat what that was one more time? You said what kind of swaps?
avatar swap.
Okay, we've been waiting for that for a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty great actually.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, hopefully we won't have any update. I don't think so. We had an update. I said this because we had an update during the last game jam, which caused a little trouble. Um, as usual, we ask you not to update, so you can. But I don't think there will be an update, but just in case, you can turn off the auto updates in your launcher, just to be sure to avoid that. So I don't think we're gonna have the case there, but good practice for next one because we don't want you to go to the next version in case there is one. Just to be fair with all participants, we stay on the version that with the version that started the game jam with. So please stay on this one. But we shouldn't have any think update this time, hopefully.
Okay.
And that was pretty much it for the details. I hope it was clear. I hope you guys are excited for it. I hope you're not too tired from the last game jam. You still have some neurons
A little
to
bit of energy
work on
left.
this one. Yeah, a little energy. Don't
All right.
hesitate to take a few days off if you participated in the last one.
Yeah, take a break. We don't have a lot of questions in the chat yet. There were a couple that I wanted to uh, point out. I guess really only. Okay, yeah. So we have last year trier over on Twitch asked, "Do retro games logics have a kind of copyright or anything like that?" Uh, so
I
I
think
guess the
it's case by
mechanics.
case. I don't think the mechanics.
Yeah,
Uh,
I,
sure. I
I
mean, yeah. Go ahead.
so I spend a lot of time talking to the Sandbox legal team about what was copyright and what was trademarked and stuff like that. There are cases where there are trademarked mechanics in games, but I don't think a lot of them would really apply in this case. Like I know for a long time, I think it was uh, maybe Ubisoft had a trademark on like mini games during a loading screen, something like that, which is not like you don't really need to do that in the sandbox. So that there are some rare occasions of that. But if you're talking about if you look at uh, old NES stuff from the 80s, like breaking blocks with your head like Mario, or picking up rings like Sonic, or things like that. Most of those are so um, kind of embedded in retro platformers and other sorts of retro games that um, if you've seen it in multiple games from different publishers and different companies, I think you're safe because that means that it's already kind of the public domain. Everybody has made games in this style. So just if you're not sure, you can reach out on to me on Discord in the Game Maker chat, or the Game Jam chat, and I can help you maybe do a little bit of research. But I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue.
Well, thanks. I think sums up perfectly. And yeah, I don't think it's for the retro games, honestly. I mean, at that time, everyone was copying everybody, so you have
Yeah.
each game was copied like 1,000 times by
Right.
everyone. So I don't think it was like such an issue at that time. And then since the time has passed, so a lot of things should be public domain now. So,
That was kind of the
but yeah,
spirit of the time, really. Like every
yeah,
all the games like grew and improved as everybody kind of made improvements to mechanics. But the things that are important to not do is you don't want to copy exact pixel art into voxel art or make like a voxel version of say Mario or Samus, or you don't want to do the exact characters. You could do a plumber, just don't make them look like Mario exactly. Like there's no trademark on overalls and a hat, but there is a trademark on the likeness of Mario and the M on the hat and stuff like that. So, just be smart about it.
yeah. As we can see the difference, like either it's a copy or you just get inspiration from, and you can do pretty much anything you want if you get inspired from something.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's just like a pure copy of it. So you don't have to be like much tweakable. Yeah, think of how you do it in a way that's not a pure copy of it.
Mm-hmm. Totoro over on Twitch said I submitted a day early, but I didn't get a confirmation email, so I resubmitted. Still didn't get a submission confirmation email. Is that normal now?
No, sorry
Um,
for this. So for the future Tech games, I'm said on Discord, but yeah, I got an issue with the confirmation email. I'm not still sure what's happened there, but yeah, gonna fix it for this time. So there should be a confirmation email. And if you have a doubt, I'm still happy to confirm that directly on Discord, or you can send me an email uh, on the Game Jam email, the one you will receive the or the update email from, and I'll be happy to confirm that we received the submission. But I'll work on to fix this confirmation email. Sorry for that.
okay. Um, Play Game for Fun points out that in the launcher, as the default, just after installation, it can't be unticked, the option to update Game Maker automatically. So I think that kind of goes to what you were talking about. Like, we
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
expect a Game Maker update this time, but it could happen. Um, I think if you're forced into the update, we can't really hold you responsible as the builder. Like, that's not your fault if the automatic update happens and you're not able to stop it. Um, so I think we're just hoping that the game maker stays in this version for now. Let's see. I don't think I see any other relevant questions. Sandbox is definitely still alive, still coming out with new game maker
It's still
versions.
alive
Uh,
for you.
we
No,
still
I think
still
we're
have a
going
lot
great
going
with
on.
the yeah. I think we're going great with the game jam actually. The Future Tech was really seems really to be a blast. And of, I didn't say that, but I encourage you to check the game on the gallery if you
Yes.
haven't yet. From the Future Tech Game Jam, they're really cool stuff. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, some of them will be on the next season. So I think we're going great at least here in the Game Jam.
Yeah, if you want to check out this game jam for what people are working on, now, probably will be at least a few days before you start seeing stuff on the gallery. But if you want to check out the future game jam or previous game jams, you just have to go to sandbox.game, download the game maker, and go to the gallery tab in the game maker. And most people usually put future jam or whatever the name of the jam is in the title. And you can search through the gallery to see all the games that people have submitted to those. And there's a ton of stuff there, lots of fun games. Totoro says, just for us older folks, late 90s is retro, right? We are not talking about 80s games. So, depending on who you talk to, retro is now games from the 2000s because it's been many years.
No,
we're
you
we're
actually
old
that's a
now.
good question. It's a good question. What's retro? And
Yeah.
that's a huge question. I don't think we can maybe answer that, but yeah, I guess. I mean, makes sense that all this stuff, like I don't know, actually from the 60s, like yeah, I think
Yeah, Pong
Pong,
and
Tetris,
old Atari
kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, that's from the 60s,
I
all
would
up to, and I think yeah, 80s and then 2000 start to make sense, right?
Yeah, I would say that whatever arguments people have for there being a specific date don't really matter in this case. I think when people generally talk about retro games, they're typically talking about 90s and earlier aesthetics. So pixel art, we do voxel art here, but you can interpret pixel art into voxel art, and um, oftentimes 2D or 2.5D. Um, I would imagine a lot of games for this jam will possibly use a fixed camera, but that's not a requirement. It's other aesthetics, so using aesthetics from the 80s and the 90s or even the 70s, referencing Atari and early Nintendo stuff. um, so I think you can kind of figure it out. And even just looking at this picture, we've got this arcade styled after like 90s and 80s and 70s arcades. So uh, just I wouldn't, like, is the first Assassin's Creed game retro now? Like, that's such a weird question
Yeah,
to ask.
I don't
Um,
hope so. I mean,
Especially as I get closer to 40 than I am to 30 now. I'm like, oh gosh, everything that I like is retro now, isn't it? Yes, I would consider Metal Slug retro. Metal Slug's been around since I think the early 90s. Um, they've always had a super detailed pixel art style, but I would call Metal Slug retro. Um, let's see. Any other questions? Somebody said they loved Sega CD and Genesis artwork style. I would definitely call like the early Sonic games retro. The stuff that I played when I was 6 years old. That's what retro is to me. Let's see. Oh, compliment from Totoro says Sandbox is better than ever right now. Love working on it. I do. The tools are definitely the best they've ever been. Looking at what we can do with game logic, as somebody who's been building in the game maker since before it was built in Unity, there's been so many improvements. Let's see. Any more questions? An idea maybe from Tensor Clock says opposite of a tower defense game where one puts up a sign and equips a caravan so that it would be able to traverse a path. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. Those are good questions for Cyber Dragon stream. I think about what kind of game logic you can do, and how you might do it. Cyber Dragon is like the leading expert on making game mechanics work in the sandbox in unexpected ways. So
yeah.
if you
If you have
yeah,
an ID, just come with the ID, ask him how can I do that, and he'll find a way.
absolutely.
That's as simple as that.
um let's see. Wards that attract populations. Yeah, the everything you're describing is possible. And if you want to learn more about how to make that work, I would check out Cyber Dragon stream. Let's what was the I have to click on the presentation again. Reminder on the live workshop is tomorrow
Yeah,
at
tomorrow morning.
7:30
So
a.m.
it's pretty
UTC.
early in the morning.
Yeah,
Um,
depending on where you live.
yeah, depending on where we live. For most people, Cyber Dragon is, I think it's big in Australia, so
Yeah.
um, for him it cannot really do best. But there will be some, of course, some submission. I'll send. So tomorrow I should be sending an email with the replay from this kickoff and from the workshop.
Hmm.
And if you have any question for Cyber Dragon, you can reach him through Discord, in the Game Maker or the Game Jam chat.
Yep.
He'll reply.
Yeah, and there's lots of other helpful people in those chats as well. Sometimes I'm able to pop in there, and there's other builders who share their knowledge. That's one of the most beautiful things about the sandbox here is the community of builders
Yeah.
that are helping other builders. There's lots of knowledgeable and experienced builders here who can help answer all sorts of questions.
I mean, actually, most of you are already in there, but the Game Jam Discord, really helpful. If you
Mhm.
need some help, if you need some advice for the Game Maker or for the process. I mean, for the process, I'll be there all the time, but for Game Maker, you got somebody who can help you. If you need people to playtest your game, also, you can ask there. There's a good chance we're gonna make as we usually do a live playtest in a few, like I think week 2. Um, so you know, but in the meantime, you can also ask in the Discord.
Last year Trier asked just to show the theme again, and so it is the retro game jam, building a retro game, including references to old games or series or films. So think like Ready Player One, with the kind of all the references that it has. That has a lot of old school references in it. Um, you could be inspired by things like Stranger Things, with all the references that they have to stuff, whether it's posters on the wall and characters that remind you, but obviously not copied directly from those things. We're doing references and themes and inspirations, but not direct copy paste from other games. Easter eggs. Yeah, the Easter eggs work too.
Yeah.
Love Easter eggs.
Instead, you don't have to build a retro game. You can. That's a way to do it. You can also just include some references, the retro aesthetic in your game, and do any game you want. You don't have to build or rebuild a retro game in this game maker if you don't want to.
Yeah, a
That's a
good
way to do it.
a good point of reference if you played the Black Mirror game in Alpha Season 6. I'm trying to remember what the name was. It was I don't remember the exact name of the episode or what the
Yeah, me
exact name, but it was a Black Mirror inspired one, and they had the whole city was like set in the 80s, and you had to like go to the roof to adjust an antenna for the TV, and there was I think there was an arcade and there was a club and just all these things that reference to 80s. Um, Bada Bonk or something like that. I don't think it was. I don't think that was the name. Uh, it was. I remember the episode. It's about like living in the afterlife. Like anyway, that's not important. The whole city street was like themed after the 80s and had like retro cars and neon lights and just very much felt like you went back in time for that. All right. Anything else that you'd like to share with everybody, Coco?
No, I think we've been through it all.
All right.
Good luck. As
So
usual, if you have any question, any doubt, if you miss the DMA right on Discord, you get any support you need.
yep,
And go check what Cyber Dragon will do tomorrow.
yep. And this
Great name.
this just a reminder. This is Coco. So you'll see on Discord he's got like a yellow icon with a face with glasses and is it mutton
Yeah, me.
chops? Like a little
That would
beard
be
on the
me.
side. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Coco, for hanging out with us this morning and sharing all that info. Thank you everybody for watching, and best of luck in the game jam. I really look forward basically today. I'm starting helping with judging the future game jam, and I'm looking forward to so many of those games and so many of those creators I've seen before, and I can't wait for the retro theme as well. Bandersnatch. Thank you, Totoro. That was the name of the.
Oh, that was this one. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. Baba Donk. Not quite. I
Almost
see.
close.
I see where it came from though. All right. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Get to building and keep an eye out for those emails and alerts. Make sure you tune in to Cyber Dragon's thing tomorrow. I'll just pull that up last. All right. Good luck.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Bye.